Good morning, students. Let us start with the next session of computer science. In this session, we are going to start with parameters and arguments in functions, types of arguments, passing arrays or lists to functions, scope of variables. I hope the previous video was clear to you all with all the concepts of functions, wherein we have learned how to declare a function. Okay. Now, the parameters and arguments in function. The parameters are the values which are provided at the time of function definition. Now, here in the example you can see def sum underscore def p comma q, wherein add equal to p plus q and def equal to p minus q. Here return add comma def. Over here you can use a bracket. Okay, so return add comma def should be in bracket. After this, we have got parameters and arguments in functions. Now arguments are the values which are passed while calling a function. Suppose I have got this function. Now if I send sum underscore def x comma y, so over here it is x comma y. So you can understand this x and y is called the arguments, but earlier it was over here it is p comma q. This is called the parameter. Hope the argument and parameters are clear to you all. Next we will learn what are the different types of arguments. There are four different types of arguments. First is positional arguments, then default arguments, then keyword arguments, and after that variable length arguments. We will start with positional arguments. These are the arguments passed to a function in correct positional order. For example, def subtract a comma b, print a minus b, and then subtract. So here subtract is actually calling the function. Okay, so here subtract a minus b. A minus b is what? Argument or parameter? Tell me. It is the argument, right? Is it argument? Just focus on the previous slide. Which one is argument? This one is parameter. Whatever value we are sending in the time of definition, that is your parameter. So do not get confused with parameter or argument. Okay. So over here in this slide, you can understand. If I say subtract 100 minus 200, 100 comma 200, so it is calling the function. So I am sending it with 100 and 200. So 100 will be replaced by A and 200 will be replaced by B. And then I'll get the answer as minus 100. Even if I ask, if I call this function as subtract 150 comma 100, then I'll get 50. So here what is happening? A is equal to 150 and B is equal to 100 for this sort of case. Understood? So this one is the actual thing. So actually whenever we are calling subtract 150 comma 100, it is going to this, and then A is replaced by 150, B is replaced by 100, and then we are getting the answer as 50. Hope all this function is clear to you all. Now, in the next slide, default arguments. This is the second type of arguments when a function call is made without arguments. So, the function has default values in it. Now, here, like suppose earlier over in this, you can see subtract 150, 100 or 100, 200. We are calling the function with some argument, right? That's why it is called as positional argument. But over here, I am not calling anything. Here, I am not calling anything with the argument. It is without anything, right? Without any argument. So, if def greet underscore message name is equal to Mohan, print hello comma name, and then I am calling this function greet underscore message. Then what I am getting it? I am getting as the value of name only, that is Mohan. So hello Mohan, I'll get the output. In the next slide, you can get it. Just see the example over here. The same thing is written. When I'll run it, what answer I'll get? It is good morning, just name comma message. Over here you can see, over here you can see I'm calling is name comma, I'm printing name comma message, and then I'm calling the function without anything. So what will happen? It will print name as Mohan and MSG as what? Nothing is there, so directly MSG will be printed. So Mohan message, clear? So message is good morning, so Mohan good morning. You run this program in your computer and then you'll get it what actual output you will understand. Okay. Now the next argument is keyword argument. This is the third type of arguments. A function containing many arguments and we wish to specify some among of them, then value for such parameter can be provided by using the name. Just see, for example, we have got def greet underscore message name comma message, print name comma message. Now we are calling the function as greet underscore message, MSG. So when we are calling this function greet underscore MSG name is equal to Mohan over here. I hope all of you are getting this. Name equal to Mohan and MSG equal to hi. Then when I am calling it, this one is replaced by this and hi is replaced by MSG. So we'll get the output as Mohan hi. Clear? Now the same example is again repeated over here for your convenience so that you can understand. Now let us proceed with the next type, that is variable length arguments. In some situation when needs to pass as many as arguments to a function, like I want to have number of arguments, then Python also provides such type of arguments. We call it as variable length arguments. Now how to define it? For that we define it with the star symbol. Okay. For example, that example is there in the next slide. Over here, like def sum star n. Just now I have told you with star n we can have a variable length. So total equal to 0 for I in n, total plus equal to I. Now do not get confused with this sentence. You can also write total equal to total plus I. Got it? This is the same line. So now then print sum equal to total. So when I am calling this function with this, then what output I'll get? I'll get sum equal to 0. But if I write sum 10, I'll get sum 10. If I write sum 10, 20, 30, 40, just see here only 9, only n is there, one variable is there, but I can pass 4 arguments. So this is possible because of just this star symbol. Getting it? So I am getting the output as 100. I hope this is clear to you all. This now moving to passing arrays or lists of functions. Now arrays is nothing but lists. Okay. So I hope in class 11 we have done and you remember for that. Okay. List is what? It is nothing but a collection of items of different data types, right? So over here you can see an example. Def list, like this program over here. This program is doing what? This program is about your average. Okay. So def list underscore average LST. So LST is the parameter. Okay. So L equal to len list, sum equal to 0. For I in list, sum plus equal to I. I guess you know now sum plus equal to I or sum equal to sum plus I is same. So then return sum by I. So this is the program or this is the function to take out average of the elements of a given list. Understood? Now next is scope of variables. Scope means measure of access of variable or constants in a program. In a better way, if I say, scope is nothing but till how much you can use, you can access that particular variable. What is its limit? So that is your scope. It has two different types. One is global, another is local. Okay. Now, global variables are accessed throughout the program. Their scope is global. And local variables are accessed within the program and the scope is local only. We will understand this global and local with a better example. Here you can see global variables. M equal to 100, def add underscore diff x comma y, add x plus y, diff equal to x minus y, global M. Just see, I have mentioned this is so with the help of a keyword called global, it is declared. Then M equal to M plus 10. Now in the next function, you can see there is x equal to 9, y equal to 3 and then AB. So this is the program. Now over here M equal to 100, this one, this M equal to 100 is the global variable which can be used outside the function as well. Like over here it is used. But x and y, these are inside the function. These cannot be used outside the function. Okay. So that's why x and y are the local variables and m is the global variable. This is a very important question, that what is the difference between local and global variable. Or a piece of code is given to you and they are asking identify which is a global variable and which is a local variable. I guess this local and global, the scopes of variable is clear to you. Hope today's session was fruitful and enjoying. If you have any doubt, do contact me and solve the worksheet that I'll have sent to you all. Thank you.